Okay, hi everyone. This is just going to be a brief, I'm still here, don't go anywhere kind of video. I do still plan on, I think I'm going to go live sometime this next coming week. If not this week, it'll be the weekend. And the reason why I'm not really sure is I have so many things on my plate right now. Some of you guys know, but probably a lot of you don't, is that in my spare time, which happens to be a lot, but I do a lot of writing, and I have been working really hard on finishing a book I started many years ago. But we're on, it's in the final stages, right? It's I actually had to, well, didn't have to, but it's part of what you do. You hire an editor, a professional editor. So we're in the process of editing the book, and so I'm finalizing it as it goes. So hopefully it'll be done by the end of the year. Keeping fingers crossed. But yeah, and it's not on the case. I do have one traditionally published book, and that was just, it was put out so long ago. I mean, a long time ago, 2000, 2001. I don't even know if it can even be purchased still. But anyway, so a lot of things happened between then and now. But anyway, I finally had started this one book, like, I don't know, 2008, maybe 2009. It's been a long time, 2010. It was started a long time ago. Anyway, it's now almost done. So it's taken a lot, and I mean a lot of my time to finish that up. And in between times, and I have not stopped looking at the case. I know, I don't think anybody's covering it anymore, including myself. You know, I didn't stop researching it, but I wasn't, you know, clearly haven't been doing as many videos. But what I do want to cover next time is there are, let's see if I can find them now. I have it here. But there's an instance, like say, just if for those of you who have the reports, if you find the 488-page document, and you'll find that under Greg's, under his website, I think it's a gray stage. You know, you can go to Greg Fernandez Jr. on YouTube, and I've listed his page many times. But anyway, on the 488-page document, you know, when the police first show up, right, to the scene, this is the crime scene response information is what this one's called, page 141 of 488. And it says briefing notes, 1/17/2015, 12:56. 2 squads from AVPD respond to scene, male, female, small school-age child. And then they write, 3, because they talk to neighbors, right? 3 gunshots heard, 3 gunshots, sorry, 3 gunshots neighbor heard between December 2nd and December 19th, sometime around 1 a.m., 3 deceased in living room of house. And this is supposed to be like, oh, that's it, you know, oh my God, those were the shots that killed the family. No. Between the 2nd and the 19th, the family was quote-unquote last seen around the 19th, later in December. We have the school giving a statement where David and Kamel both picked up Rania on the 19th. So if this is at 1 o'clock in the morning, this would be 1 a.m. on the 19th, and the latest time that these shots were heard, right? And this is what I'm saying. This is what's so frustrating with this case. So they write this down, and they put 3 bodies. There were 3 shots heard, and then we have our narrative. The timeline doesn't match. This was the time frame between December 2nd and December 19th, and they clearly are seen 1 o'clock in the morning on December 19th. They're clearly seen at 3 or 3:30 on the 19th. So why they had to write this down and make it part of their narrative boggles my mind. But anyway, it's a bunch of stuff like this I'm going to go back over again, which we'll be covering in the live. But also, I want to start, covering different stories as well. And that's why I'm starting to call this What Say You? So what do you guys have to say about these things, that not only with the Crowley case, but with these other cases that we find? And then I also am going to try to start doing some interviews with, there are a lot of YouTubers that have their channels based on books that they read. So they kind of will read a story and then they come back and talk about it. In the midst of life, I've done a lot of, reading and listening to audiobooks. I'm doing both. And I'm listening to a series now. It's a 7-book series. I'm on book 6 of the 7, and it's written by Scarlett St. Clair. Now, I am not a romance person. But these series, to me, it's about Hades and Persephone, the love story, which is really bizarre because I'm still trying to wrap my head around this, because in some part of Greek mythology, they say they don't know who Persephone's father is, and in other parts of Greek mythology, they're saying that Persephone's father is Zeus. Well, Zeus is Hades' brother, so it's his niece, but this major love story. Anyway, in my brain, I don't see them as uncle and niece, because that's just disgusting. But the way this writer writes it is that her father's never mentioned, and her father's not Zeus. At least I think that's how it's covered. But anyway, yeah, Greek mythology. Oh my, these people are twisted. But anyway, it's actually, so it's quite interesting. So I would like to start getting other YouTubers on who read books and then discuss them. Basically because, writing, what you guys, I don't know, maybe you know it, maybe you don't know it, but it's part of who I am and what I do. I've been writing my whole life. Poetry, writing books, writing stories. Basically the arts have always been a part of who I am. I've had one piece of my art on display at the Minnesota Institute of Art. I've put out an album, I've written books. I just love creating anything creative. And so it's super interesting when I go to these other YouTube channels and I listen to how people read and then how they take things in and how they interpret. To me, it's fascinating. I love to see how people think and process, the same things that I do, because I'll read some things and I'll agree with what they say, and then other times it's like, wait a minute, I didn't get that at all. But anyway, so I kind of want to expand the channel a little bit more, because it seems like the David Crowley case, it's fallen on deaf ears when it comes to the police. They don't care. Nobody gives one iota. And now that no one else is really covering the case, it's like, dead in the water, which is kind of where I've always said it was going to be. I never saw this going anywhere because there aren't enough people willing to stand up and say, hey, you're going to hear us, our voices need to be heard, this man needs to be, justified. He didn't kill his family. I don't care what anybody says. I've been researching this now since 2017. Yeah, almost 7 years. I've read everything that has been released. We've, thousands of pages of documents on this case. And I've seen the proof. And the moment the autopsy reports state that his decomp is marked and the other two are not, it was dead in the water for me. It was proof. That's final proof for me. It should be proof for everybody. That just means his decomp is further along. So how could he kill his family if he was dead first? So anyway, but yeah, it's since nobody else is really doing anything anymore in the case, I just figured maybe I'll expand the channel and, put some feelers out there and see what works and what doesn't. But anyway, that's what you can expect going forward. If there are any other stories that you guys want to, discuss or hear talked about, and I'm willing. I've got time to do research. A lot of times, I just kind of hear anyway, and I don't mind. I don't mind digging and reading. So if there's a case you guys want to talk about or you want to hear about, let me know. Anyway, that's where we are, and hopefully that this new direction will lead us into some pretty interesting things. So until I get the rest of the stuff put together on the Crowley case, again, I found something else. I've read these things so many times, and I get so frustrated with myself that I don't catch these on the first 150th time I've read them. It takes 151 times before it's like, ding, hello, what's that? And that's happened with another thing. It has to do with bodies, oh my gosh, see, no brain power. Kamel's body position in her hands. I think you guys will find that interesting too, which I will cover the next time we go live here pretty soon. But again, keep in mind, the police wrote up the report to make it sound like, aha, see, the neighbor heard 3 gunshots. We have 3 people dead in the house. Case closed. Build everything around to fit this narrative. But it's too late. The neighbor gave the dates of the 2nd through the 19th, written in the police's report. At 1 o'clock in the morning, David, Kamel, and Rania were seen on the 19th during the day. The school verifies that David and Kamel picked up Rania at 3 o'clock in the afternoon. So that whole, neighbor heard 3 gunshot thing. Again, it's tossed out. It doesn't even matter. Has no bearing on the case whatsoever. But anyway, okay, hope you guys are doing well, and we'll talk to you later.